Hello, this is Julia from Just One More Card, and this is another day of my holiday card making series. And as you can see, I've already prepared a bit. I've got a brown card base, and I've got a white panel that I've cut with the smaller one of the Fem Frames from the Basic Cuts by Mama Elephant. And this panel will go on front of my card. The colors I'm using today are from the Color Me Challenge. I'm a design team member there, so that's why I'm creating the card with those colors. And I'm going to use the W+9 stamp set. Let me see what it says. Heartfelt Holidays. And I've just cut this apart a little bit because it couldn't fit into the sleeve. That's the only reason. Otherwise, it's completely fine. It didn't hurt my stamps. And I'm going to start by stamping the sentiment on the inside of the card. That's the very first thing, using Unicorn pigment ink. And that's why I'm doing it first. The pigment ink needs some time to dry. Sorry for my head getting in the way. And I'm stamping this first because I'm going to set the card base aside and let this dry. And I just love like this very simple font, this very simple statement in the center of the card. It's just awesome. Next up, I'm grabbing this 2-inch punch. It's just a no-name punch that I picked up at the local craft store. And this is the same cardstock that I'm using for my front panels, so the colors of the white will match. And now that I have this square, I'm putting it on a scrap of the same brown cardstock that I'm using for the base of my card, so the colors will match. And then I'm freehand cutting it, which explains why it's not quite even, but you didn't see that. And this Avery Elle ink is called Aquamarine. It's also a pigment ink, and I'm using the little house stamp from the W+9 stamp set to stamp the house into the center of the square. And with pigment inks, you want to be careful. You don't want to push too much because you might push the ink away from the stamp. And then to set it, I'm using hairspray. I'm not using hairspray for anything else, not even my hair, but it's great to set pigment inks. The confetti die by Mama Elephant gives you a lot of shapes in different sizes, and I just need a little heart that will fit there. And this is a Wink of Stella pen that I filled with water. If you don't know why I did this, Jennifer McGuire did a video on this, and I will link to it from my blog post, where she explained that when your Wink of Stella marker, for example, the clear one, as in my case, runs out of the ink, just spritz some water in there, and you can use it like a brush that comes with glitter. And this came at the perfect time because my Wink of Stella pen had just run out and was going to the trash. So thank you, Jennifer McGuire. If you hear a dog, that's my neighbor's dog. I'm using this little twig, I think, thing from the same stamp set still with Cup of Joe Hero Arts ink. It's a brown ink. And I'm just stamping it to the sides of the centerpiece so it will kind of be, like anchored on the page. And you saw me stamping my sentiment, and then I was like, the card base could use something. And I wanted to add some splatter, some spray, but I didn't have spray in the proper color, and my sprays were clogged. I'm very unhappy with the sprays that I bought. Will not buy this brand again. So what I'm doing here is I'm grabbing lots and lots and lots of my white watercolor, and then I'm grabbing this brush that I bought because Dawn from W+9 recommended this type of brush. It has a very hard tip, and I'm picking up just a hint of red, literally just a hint of red, and dabbing this into my white, so I will get a light pink because that's the color from the color challenge. So I'm mixing my own very, very, very light pink and making sure the brush is absolutely saturated with the color. And now this is the fun part, and you really should have, you should protect your surface when you do this, because this is going to get messy, really messy. Look what I'm doing. This is why you need a brush that has a hard brush tip, so there will be some resistance when you're spraying. And you see I have a big oopsie there, but that's why you have old baby wipes. See? Magically goes away. And I just kept doing this. I had so much fun doing this. You can stop whenever you want, but I kept spraying, splattering. That was awesome. Once I had zapped this with my heat gun so it was dry, I created this little nest of gold twine, literally gold and silver twine, one of the best investments that I made. Local craft store cost me $2 a piece or €2 per roll of this twine. Awesome. So then I put my house here in the center, and I think like the twine just gives it something extra. It's just super special. And it, it's not much, but the effect is just awesome. Then, using a white piece of ribbon behind the front panel is a trick I picked up from the awesome Nicole McGurk. It's just, I watched one of her videos and she did this, and I was like, I need this type of ribbon. And this is from Stampin' Up. I was delighted to have it in the correct color. I'm just putting some glue in the middle of it, but not at the end, because I want there to be some dimension at the end where I fold it. So I'm just putting it in the middle, so it will stay where it's supposed to go and not slip behind the card base. That's the only reason why I'm doing this. Then I'm putting some glue on the card base itself. I'm gonna put the front panel on top of everything, but I don't want the ribbon to shift, so that's why I'm doing this. And then when I just took a look, I was like, this is not centered properly, so I just took it off quickly. It hadn't set yet. So, even if it would have ripped the paper a bit, it's behind the card panel. Nobody would have noticed. Except for you, because you watched the video, but you wouldn't tell, right? Right? Okay, thank you. So now I've adhered the card panel to the front of the card, and I just had to cut the little ends of the ribbon so it would look nice. And of course, then I had to grab my Pretty Pink Posh sequins and put some down on the card, because, it's a holiday card. It needs some sparkle. What did you expect? And this is my favorite method, using some glue and seal, which is, I think, similar to multimedia matte. It dries in the matte finish. And then just using my tweezers to get the sequins back on the card. And that's it. That's the card for today. I think it has some really wonderful colors, this warm brown and the fresh aqua color and the pink that gives it some warmth. And I just love the spluttering. I admit that was my favorite part. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you all of you who have subscribed, who are new subscribers. Thank you so much for checking out my channel. I hope you've enjoyed this, and please come back for more soon. Bye bye.